right, good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And just want to welcome everyone to our webinar series. This one is building a generation-changing insurance agency. Today, we're going to really focus on how to use Medicare to build an insurance agency that will, quite frankly, change generations. And I'll give you a little example of what I'm talking about when I say a generation-changing insurance agency. Our agency, for example, Drain Insurance Marketing, I'm actually third generation in the insurance marketing in the Medicare business, and actually my child, my youngest son, is 11 years old, and he's benefiting 4 generations later from decisions that his grandfather made working in the Medicare business. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about building a generation-changing agency. This is absolutely an opportunity for you all to do just that very thing, and all the while building generations of your own family, leaving a lasting legacy for your own family, but all the while helping people along the way. So that's what today's webinar is about. And without further ado, we're going to get started. But before I do that, I want to just address a couple of things. Some of you are new to my webinars, so I want to talk about how we do them. Everyone's muted simply because I just don't want people talking over each other and background noises. So if you have questions during the webinar, be sure and type those into the questions box. When I'm done with the presentation, I'll go through those, read them out for everyone's benefit, and then we will we'll answer those. So that's the first bit of information there. The second bit, I like to keep them to about 35 to 40 minutes, so I expect that we'll be done in about 35 minutes, and then we'll answer questions and go from there. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's talk about, here's our agenda. We're going to kind of introduce the whole concept of a generation-changing agency. We're going to go through the market outlook, some products, show you an example of the income potential. And when I get to that slide, there's actually a handout attached to this webinar that you can pull up and look at and kind of go along with it. And it kind of goes through exactly what I'm going to talk about on that slide. We're going to talk about Drain Insurance Marketing, how we can help you grow your business and build that generation-changing agency. And then I'm going to wrap it up with tools that you need to have in order to do that. So let's get started here and talk about, as I mentioned in the introduction to the webinar, what is a generation-changing agency? What I'm talking about there is, quite frankly, I'm talking about building an insurance agency that will outlast you. And as I mentioned to you, I'm currently third generation, and my son is benefiting as a fourth generation in this industry. And this is absolutely an opportunity that you can grasp and do yourself. And we're also talking about that lasting legacy, talking about setting up generations of your family with a rewarding career opportunity. And I will say, absolutely a rewarding career opportunity. Not only is there an amazing amount of prospect opportunity, and there's an amazing amount of product opportunity, but we get to wake up every day and really help people with something that they're struggling with, quite frankly. And those of you that's worked in the Medicare field for any length of time understand this more than most, is that Medicare's complicated and people don't understand it. I've been doing this for 23 years now, and I can tell you right now that I still get questions every day that I'm like, you know what? I don't know the answer to that. I'm going to have to find it. So this is a complicated topic, and this is a complicated topic that that people desperately need help on. And that's what we get to wake up and do every day. So we get to make a difference in people's lives, but at the same time, we get an amazing opportunity for us. So let's look at that opportunity. Some of you may be new to the Medicare field, and you may be thinking, well, you know what? I'm a little late. I'm a little late to the game. This Medicare Advantage stuff has been around for, since 2005 now, and it's 2019, so I'm too late to the game. Surely my market is already overexposed, and there's already agents, just all over my market, and there's no opportunity for me. Well, I'm here to say that is absolutely incorrect. It doesn't matter if you have 0 clients or if you have a bunch of clients and you're just looking to grow. The opportunity is vast. Matter of fact, I would say today the opportunity is larger than it has ever been. And I know it's kind of funny, those of you that have been on the webinars before, especially when we're talking Medicare and opportunity, I say this every year. I say, this should be the best year ever. This is the greatest opportunity yet. And how can that continue to be? Well, simply because the facts don't lie. The numbers are growing. Right now, today, actually, this says 55 plus million. I think the last number I saw said there was around 59 million people on Medicare. And that number is growing every day. It's growing to the tune of 10,000 people per day aging into Medicare. The latest statistics show that by 2030, there's going to be 79 million people on Medicare. So when you look at that, if we're talking 55 to 59, depending on which statistic you look at right now, to 79 million, I mean, you're talking about growing this population by 20 million in like the next 15 years. So actually, not the next 12 years. So what I'm here to tell you is that the opportunity is vast. There's way more prospects than there are agents to take care of them. I see this every time I do a face-to-face seminar in a new town, or every time I go back to a town and do a seminar with existing agents. I see every year there's less and less of them in the room. Young people are not getting into this business, and the reason they're not is because, it's tough for them. It's tough for young people to join an industry that it's 100% commission sales, so no one's paying you a salary. You have to go out and build your income. The opportunity is vast. The opportunity is vast, but it's a struggle. So young people aren't getting into it. The older agent population are retiring or, quite frankly, dying off, and so we're seeing less and less people, less and less insurance agents that's in the market to help a population that's going to grow by 20 million in the next 12 years. So the opportunity is vast. And if you're just now getting into it, or you're just now starting, or this is your second or third year and you're trying to build, you're in the right place. And not only that, not only do we have 79 million people going to be on Medicare by 2030, not only do we have 10,000 a day aging into Medicare, and they have to make a decision because Medicare is not a choice. It's mandatory. When you turn 65, you got Medicare. So they got to make a decision on that, but all of those people need other services. So that really expands your opportunity as an insurance provider, as an insurance advisor. We like to tell people you're an insurance advisor. Our job is to show people the gaps in their coverage, offer them solutions of those gaps, and then help them with those solutions. So those folks are going to need other products, and we're going to talk a little bit about what some of those other products and why they're so important. Here's another thing. Even folks that have the plan, even people that have plans now, and there are a vast number of people in the Medicare Advantage program that signed up for plans, or in the prescription drug program that signed up for plans. So of that 55 to 59 million people that's on Medicare, a great amount of those have these Medicare plans, but even those folks need help because there's studies that show that only around 6 to 9%, and again, it depends on which study you look at, but all of them agree that over 90% of people who have a prescription drug plan have the wrong one. And why is that? Because people sign up for plans based on a commercial they saw on TV, or based on a person sitting in the store in a Walmart or a grocery store, or they sign up for a prescription plan as a part of their Medicare plan, and they didn't. And the reasons they joined it were maybe it had the lowest cost at the monthly premium, or maybe it was on their Medicare health plan, so it was just a part of the plan. But the fact is that they're not the right plan for them. In other words, they don't cover their drug the best. Over 90% of the folks out there that have a prescription plan are not in the plan that covers their prescription the best. And so even folks who already have a plan represent a vast opportunity for you. So really, we're not just talking about 20 million people. We're talking about the entire 79 million people by 2030. All of those people are going to need help. So the opportunity is vast. The best thing we can do, and really the only thing to do, is for us to get out there and help people. And by doing that, Am I getting out there and helping people with their questions, with their concerns, putting them in the right prescription plans, taking care of their healthcare needs? You're going to build that lasting legacy. You're going to build that agency that will outlast you. I'm living, breathing proof of it. And when Ed Drennan in the 60s started his practice, the population for Medicare was not near what it is now. So here I am 3 generations later, benefiting from those decisions, and the opportunity then is not near what it is now. So the great news for you all that are looking at this opportunity in the Medicare space, whether you're in it already or just now getting into it, you have a chance to build something way faster than we could in the past, just because of the sheer number of prospects. If you tried today to develop a business, you say, if you just sit down and said, I'm gonna write a business plan, I'm gonna start a business, and then you're gonna start, okay, but I don't know what I'm gonna do, so I'm gonna look at the market as a whole and figure out where I want to put my business. This is the population you would target, because there's the most of them. And not only are they the most of them, they have most of the money in the country. So we're talking about a population that is an enormous population, needs a lot of help, and also are the wealthiest in the country. Statistics show that population, this baby boomer population, are the wealthiest. So they need help, and they have income for you to use to help. So opportunity is vast. So some of you may be saying, yeah, the opportunity is great. I agree with you. There's a lot of folks on Medicare, a lot of folks that are going to be on Medicare, but everything I see says that this whole Medicare Advantage program, you can only do it during a certain time. So it's not the AEP. What about now? What about now? Well, I say just because it's not currently the annual enrollment period doesn't mean that there's not opportunity today. As I mentioned earlier, there's an age-in opportunity. There's 10,000 people per day aging into Medicare. Now, that doesn't mean that there's 10,000 people in Tampa, Florida, for example, aging into Medicare. Or there's 10,000 people in Pensacola, Florida, or Montgomery, Alabama, aging into Medicare. But overall, there's 10,000 people a day aging in. So the chances are pretty good that there's going to be some in your area. In addition to that, Medicare supplements. Medicare supplements are not subjected to this enrollment periods that we have under the Medicare Advantage or the prescription drug plan, because it's an insurance product. So you can purchase Medicare supplements anytime during the year. And the facts are that 25% of that Medicare population still purchase a Medicare supplement. The numbers break down kind of like this. About 25% of the people that are on Medicare or aging into Medicare, they're buying Medicare supplements. About another 25% to 30% are signing up on the Medicare Advantage plans. And then the rest of them are on various retirement plans, or they're just sitting out there on original Medicare. So in your portfolio of products, the Medicare Advantage plans are great, and you need to have those because they're, quite frankly, they're the ones that have the zero premiums that you see people on advertising on TV, and they have all the great benefits and all the extra stuff and the gym memberships and the this and the that and the other. But the fact is that if Medicare supplements are not a part of your portfolio, they need to be, because a lot of people are still doing Medicare supplements. So, and that is an opportunity right now. In addition to that, folks that are on assistance. So that's people like people on Medicaid, or really any kind of assistance. When I say LIS, so we're talking about anybody that gets any kind of assistance with their drugs or with their health benefits through a Medicaid or a state assistance program. They qualify for what's called a special election period, which then means they can change their plan once every quarter. So these folks aren't locked into the specific enrollment guidelines. They can actually change their plan once a quarter. So those people are an opportunity for you. And then you have this whole other side of opportunity in this same market for those of you that already have clients out there, that already have people that are enrolled in these plans. They need ancillary benefits to fill some of the gaps that these plans leave. And what am I talking about there? Well, let's talk about hospital indemnity plan. And what I mean by that is every one of these Medicare Advantage plans on the market have significant significant copays due by the enrollee when they go to the hospital. It can be anywhere depending on what county it's in and what plan it's in, but we're talking $195, $200, $250, $325 per day for the first 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days, depending on the plan again, and depending on which county it's in. Bottom line is that could be a significant amount of money to folks. You can go into your clients, and for a low monthly fee, sometimes like $35, $40 a month at the most, you can offer them a plan that will wipe that daily copay completely out. So that's an option, and those can be sold anytime during the year because, again, they're insurance plans. They're not part of Medicare like Medicare Advantage. They're actually insurance plans. In addition to that, you've got critical illness plans. Critical illness plans are going to be things like, typically, most of them are going to cover cancer, heart attack, and stroke, the big three, if you will. And do you think those are things your clients need? Absolutely. If you look at it here, statistics show that 1/2 of males and 1/3 of females are going to have some form of cancer sometime in their lifetime. That's a pretty significant amount of those folks that we talked about. And when we start talking about cancer, people say, well, I've got Medicare. Medicare pays for cancer, so why do I need a separate critical illness plan to help me with my cancer? Well, true, Medicare pays for treatment of cancer. That is absolutely true. However, there's a lot of services, and those of you that have any experience with it understand this better than some that haven't had experience with it, but there's a lot of things surrounding cancer that aren't necessarily related to the actual treatment of the cancer. What I mean by that is, you get chemotherapy. Unless you live near the facility, you're probably going to have to travel to the facility to get it. And by doing that, if it's, you may have to get a hotel room. Someone's probably going to have to go with you. And if you're still working, or if there's someone that goes with you still working, there's lost wages and all of those associated costs, food costs, all those expenses that are associated with that aren't part of the actual treatment aren't covered by the health plan. So a plan like a critical illness that pays a first dollar upon diagnosis of cancer can be a lifesaver in that environment. But I also mentioned that critical illness doesn't just pay cancer, also heart attack and stroke. If you look at hospital statistics, they show that in the Medicare population, 67% of their overnight stays are due to one of those three critical illnesses: heart attack, stroke, and cancer. So having a low-cost plan that can pay your client first dollar benefits if they have one of these incidents. So they have an occurrence of a heart attack, a stroke, or cancer, they get cash money to do whatever they want. They can pay the medical facility with it, or they can do whatever they want with it. The plan doesn't care. It just pays them cash, and they use the cash. Again, that's an ancillary benefit. It's an insurance product, so you can sell it at any time. Dental, vision, hearing plans. I'm pretty sure all your clients have eyes, ears, and teeth, or they want some. So dental, vision, hearing plans. Again, we've got those plans available that you can offer to your clients. They're specifically designed for the senior population. And again, you're talking about all these ancillary benefit products I'm talking about. Most of them are going to be in the $30 to $40 a month range. So you can, very low cost, take care of some concerns for your clients. This is a big one: final expense. Final expense life. Final expense is one of the biggest things that you guys can offer your clients, quite frankly, because most people aren't prepared for it. If you look at this study, and this was all the way back in 2015, it says 44% of the population, only 44% of the population had life insurance, and of those 40%, only 40% believed that they had enough life insurance. So that means a lot of folks either don't have any or don't believe that they have enough. Here's another sobering statistic that the Federal Reserve released earlier this year, and it said that 4 in 10 individuals in America could come up with $400 in the case of emergency if they had to. That means 60% of the population, if they had an emergency, could not come up with $400 in cash. The average funeral is $8,000 to $10,000. So if you can't come up with $400 in the event of emergency, what are the chances are that you can come up with $8,000 to $10,000? Final expense life insurance is critical to your clients, especially those over 65. And the great news is it's very inexpensive. It's very inexpensive. All of these products that I'm talking about here, all these ancillary products I'm talking about here that are very important to your Medicare population, you can quote every one of those, by the way, and compare all the products that are available in your market right on our website at DrennanCompanies.com. You can go on our website, click on our senior quote engine, and you can run final expense quotes. You can run hospital indemnity quotes. You can run Medicare Advantage comparisons. You can run prescription drug comparisons. So these are tools that we have available for you that can help you show these things to your clients, but your clients is in desperate need of these things. So the great news is the opportunity in the Medicare field is enormous because of the amount of prospects. And we've got great Medicare products. But when you look at the big picture on the Medicare field, and you look at the fact that we're not just taking care of their Medicare, we're taking care of their whole package. That's how you build a lasting legacy. You become an insurance advisor, not just an insurance agent. Most of the time when I talk to agents out there, and I do seminars for agents on Medicare education, I do a lot of Medicare 101 education seminars for some of our agents. And a lot of times when I do those and I talk to people and they'll come up and ask questions, a lot of times I run across folks that they don't even know who their agent is. And the reason is because as an industry as a whole, we've gotten away from becoming insurance advisors, and we've just gotten into like, well, I'm going to run out and enroll as many people into zero premium stuff as I can, and I'm just going to churn and burn. And the problem with that approach is not only are you not helping your people, but you're also leaving a lot on the table, because folks need more than just the health insurance. If you look at the Medicare plan, there's still a lot of out-of-pocket expenses associated with the person's care that they have. And if you become an insurance advisor and you have a full portfolio of products and you really learn how to present your full portfolio of products to your clients, you're going to have happier clients because they're going to have a better coverage. You're going to make a lot more money because you're going to sell more products. And you're going to become an advisor. You're going to become the person that they know. They're going to say, well, Billy takes care of all of my insurance needs, or Johnny takes care of all my insurance needs, because you're no longer just the person that sold their health insurance to them. You're now their insurance advisor. So let's talk about how this changes generations. It sounds good for me to say that there's a great opportunity and there's all these wonderful products, but how does that change my generations? I'm going to tell you how, because I'm going to show you right now how you can build a six-figure income just on residuals. The fact is that in an insurance business, the goal is to write a lot of business. The goal is to help a lot of folks. But your personal goal as an insurance advisor for your business should be to build residuals, because the great news about when we're dealing with Medicare population is they're a very loyal population. They stay with you. They don't switch all the time like the under 65 population does. They stay with the person who wrote them as long as the person who wrote them continues to contact them and stays in touch with them and builds a relationship with them. That's how you build residuals. That's how you build a generation-changing agency. So here, let's look at just what I'm going to show you is just an example of selling Medicare Advantage, only Medicare Advantage. This example is not even factoring in adding in ancillary products. It's just Medicare Advantage, and it's mostly selling replacement. Those of you that have been in the business for a long time know what I'm talking about. If you're kind of new to Medicare Advantage, when I say replacement, what I'm talking about is there's two commissions with Medicare Advantage, okay? There's first-year commission, which means they're new to Medicare Advantage. You're moving them from Medicare they're aging in, or you move them from a Medicare supplement into a Medicare Advantage. They didn't currently have one. Then you get what's called new to Medicare commission. And that, depending on what state, but in most states and most counties, it's $455 per enrollment. And then there's what's called replacement commission. What that means is that you're moving them from one Medicare Advantage plan to another Medicare Advantage plan. If you do that, you get the replacement, and it's essentially half of the first year. So around 228 or so is the way that, and again, it's going to depend on which county it is, but these numbers that I'm showing you on the chart now are based on writing mostly replacement, so it doesn't factor in. So they're actually fairly conservative because they're not factoring in writing new to Medicare, and they're not factoring in writing other business. But just looking at a very conservative picture, you can see how easily and how quickly this adds up and becomes a six-figure income on just residuals. This assumes that you're going to write an on average 10 cases a month. So you're going to add 120 in the course of a year. If you do that, again, selling mostly replacement business, a very conservative figure says you're going to make $2,410 a month in monthly residuals, which is $28,915 a year. And here's why this is so important. This is kind of like investing, right? Compound interest. This is similar to that in that you're going to get that every year that they're on the books. Okay? Every year you get that plus whatever else you added to it. So if you look at year 2, you're going to end up with 230 members, which equals 4618, which is the total by the year end of year 2 is 55,420. Again, that's residual. So that's lifetime income as long as they stay on the books. Going to year 3 and 4 and 5 and so forth, and really by year 4 you're at over 100,000. By year 5 you're at $134,000. Now, those of you that are real good at math are looking at that and going, now wait just a minute, 10 times 5, if I do 10, 10, 10, 10, and 120, a month, that doesn't add up. Those numbers aren't adding up. Well, what I'm telling you here is that you're not going to keep every single one of them, okay? So we factored in those numbers that you're going to have some loss of membership because it's not feasible to think that you're going to keep every one you write. Some are going to die. Some are going to move away. There's reasons why you won't keep them all, but you will maintain the vast majority of them. And I can say that from 23 years of personal experience in the business, but also from 50 plus years of looking at our agency as a whole's business and looking at the statistics and how this business sticks on the books. You're going to keep the vast majority of the folks that you write, assuming that you take care of them. And then you do that, you're going to be making six figures in a little as 4 years, and that'll be forever. So this is how you change generations of your agency. You put a good 5 years in, and you're going to have almost $150,000 coming in to your agency forevermore. And then you continue to work, you're just going to continue to build. And then as you get ready to retire or you get ready to sell your business, if you don't have any heirs, then you've got something of extreme value to pass on or sell if you don't have anyone to pass it on to. Again, I can tell you right now, I'm third generation benefiting from this insurance business, and my son is fourth generation benefiting from this insurance business, and his opportunities are vast. He has the chance to do anything he wants to do in life without really having to worry about what am I going to do. You see what I'm saying? You have an opportunity to build that for your family. It's out there. It's out there for the taking. There's an extreme amount of prospects available. I mean, there's more prospects than there ever can be insurance agents to take care of it. There's only 1.9 million licensed insurance agents in the country. I have a database. I can see every one of them. There's 1.9 million licensed insurance agents in the country. There's going to be 79 million people on Medicare by 2030. I'm telling you, you could not, if you dreamed up the perfect opportunity, it wouldn't be better than this. So you're in the right place. This is the right business. You've got the right products. The products are amazing. In almost every state, these products are amazing. So you've got the right products, you got the right prospects. All you need to do is get aimed in the right direction. So what I'm here to do is show you how we can help aim you in the right direction. I talked about the Medicare portion, okay? We go right here and you can say, look, you can make $134,000 just taking, building Medicare Advantage only. Make $134,000 a year in residuals just writing Medicare Advantage. But I'm here to tell you that I don't want you to do that. I want you to write the Medicare Advantage, and then I want you to take care of your clients, because that's what ultimately what we're in the business to do. We're in the business to help people, and we help people by taking care of their full needs. So we sit down with our clients, especially after we've already written them and we've built a rapport with them and a trust with them. Now we sit down with them and we start to show them that there's holes in their coverage, because even the greatest plans have holes in them. Even the greatest plan has holes in them. So you need to take these ancillary products and use them to fill those holes. You're going to solve those clients' needs, okay? You're going to solve their needs and provide peace of mind. I'm telling you, they're worried about if they go to the hospital, how they're going to come up with $295, $300, whatever it is, depending on the plan, a day at the hospital. They're wondering about that. They're worrying about that. You can show them how to take care of that. You can ease their mind on that. All of those ancillary products, typically, they're going to offer a heaped up first-year commission. Most of them are around 50 to 60%, depending on the product, on the first year. And then they're going to pay you a lifetime renewal, typically around 5%. So they do slow down the renewals on the back end on those ancillary products, but they heap them up on the front end. But they pay lifetime. If you sell 3 or more products, if you have 3 or more products in a household, then you're going to have a 95+% persistency rate with that household. And that is the insurance industry as a whole puts those statistics out, saying that 3 or more products creates a 95% persistency rate. If you want to see where that really is effective, and a group of insurance professionals that really take that to heart, look at the P&C agencies. Look at P&C agencies. Okay, they've got the home, auto, they sell life insurance. A lot of them will sell health insurance. They're always advertising on TV, bundle up, bundle up, bundle up, because they understand that. They understand that if I can get multiple products, I'm going to have more persistency with this household. Because again, if you have multiple products, you're no longer just the person that sold them their health insurance, you're their insurance advisor. That's how you build loyalty with your customers, and loyalty equals residuals, because if they stay on the books, you continue to get paid. Clients keep those plans. Folks that buy dental plans, folks that buy cancer plans, they understood that they have a need. You help them see the need, solve the problem, and they keep them. Those plans stay on the books. So don't just sell the Medicare. I showed you that you can just sell the Medicare Advantage, nothing but that, and make a 6-figure income on residuals, but don't just do that. Solve that client's whole need, build your more income into your agency, and raise that to 134 to 154, 200, 250. It's absolutely a feasible and attainable thing. I've seen it done time and time again in small towns. There's an agent in a small town in northwest Arkansas that makes $250,000 a year working in the Medicare field. If he can do that in a small town in northwest Arkansas, think about your market. You can probably accomplish that or better. All that's great. The opportunity is great, but how do I take advantage of it? How do you take advantage of this great opportunity? That's where we come in. Our agency, Dren Insurance Marketing, that's what we do. We help independent agents take advantage of opportunities. It's what we've done my entire career for 23 years. I have sold insurance on the street. I have run leads, so I feel your pain in those things. But for the last 23 years, what I've done is help agents. That's what we do. So here's how utilizing Dren can help you. First of all, just who we are, in case you don't know, we're a national FMO, what it stands for Field Marketing Organization. We're dedicated to the success of our agents. We're one of the oldest and largest FMOs in the country. I've been actually working with independent agents, like I said, for 40 plus years. Prior to that, we did run a captive agency back in the 60s, and then we converted to independence. And since for about 40 years, we've been nothing but independent agents, working with Medicare and not just Medicare. We work with all aspects of your insurance needs, of your health and life insurance needs. We can help you with your life insurance needs. We can help you with any of your health insurance needs, and to include all those ancillary products. That's what we do. Here's the services that we provide for you as the agent. I've got a full staff. I've got 4 offices staffed. We've got one in Northwest Florida, and I've got 3 offices across Arkansas. But you, no matter where you're at, you call the 800 number, and all the phones and all those offices ring. So you have access to all of those folks available to you. So they're dedicated to your success. That's their job. We pay them to show up and help you. We offer you a dedicated compliance officer. We have an on-staff compliance officer that does nothing but compliance. So if you're out there working in the Medicare field, because it's a highly regulated field and the rules change all the time, and you have a question, can I do this? Can I run this ad? Actually, I would always encourage you, anytime you're thinking about running an ad, send out even a letter to your current clients. Just shoot that over to him and let him say, yep, looks good. That's what we pay him for. We pay him to make sure that everything you do is strictly within regulations. He's available to you 24 hours a day. You can call him via cell phone or shoot him an email. We offer an annuity center for you. As you work with your clients, especially in this Medicare field, you're going to come across some that have a chunk of money stashed away in a CD or in a bank drawing half a point interest or something. We don't deal with variable annuities because we just don't want to get series license, but quite frankly, we work mainly in the Medicare field, and those folks aren't messing with variable annuities anyway. They need fixed annuities. Fixed annuities are wonderful. I can go into my client and say, client, you've got $200,000, $300,000, whatever it is, sitting over here drawing a half point. I can guarantee you 3. That's what a fixed annuity is. There's basically no risk. The only risk is if the company goes belly up, which has not happened. So those opportunities are available, and we have that annuity center. The great news about them is you don't have to be an annuity expert. If you come across somebody and they've got a pile of money sitting in a very low or no interest account, you simply call the 800 number on the annuity. Well, here's what you do. You tell the client and say, you know what, I can help you. What are your goals with this money? Then you get their goals, what they're hoping to accomplish, and how much money they got. And you say, tell you what, let me go back to my office. I'm going to run some numbers, and then we'll sit and talk about it. You go back to your office and you say, oh man, I don't know anything about annuities. No problem. You call our annuity center. You tell them the information. You say, hey, look, I got Mrs. Jones here. She's got X amount of dollars, and here's her goals. They will run you the top 3 products in the market to solve that, to accomplish that client's goals. They will get you the information. They will coach you on it so that you're an expert on those products, or at least comfortable enough to sit down and present them confidently. They will get you contracted with any of the plans that you're not currently contracted with, and then you go back out and meet with your client. Now you look like an annuity expert. You've just solved their need. That service is available to you. We basically can offer you, just like any other FMO in the market, I can offer you contracts with pretty much all the carriers. You know, the Humanas, the United Healthcares, the Centenes, the Aetnas, we've got them all, just like every other FMO in the country. I do have an online I mentioned earlier. You can go to our website and you can run Medicare proposals and comparisons with Medicare Advantage plans, with prescription drug plans, with hospital indemnity plans, with final expense plans. And actually you can, and I'll about to do another webinar on this one pretty soon, but we have a tool on there called Fill in the Gaps, where you can run a Medicare Advantage comparison and then click a button called Fill in the Gaps, and it'll put on that comparison the hospital indemnity plan and fill in the gaps at that point that those Medicare Advantage plans has. It's a wonderful way to sit down with your client and show them their plan and the gaps in their plan and how you can handle those gaps in their plan. It's a very non-threatening, easy way to do it. Be on the lookout for that webinar. That'll actually be coming up in the next couple of weeks. We have what we call our core and elite agent programs. Just like every other FMO in the country, we'll contract anybody who wants to contract. That's called brokers. We work with brokers all day long. I got a lot of them, and we help them to the best of our ability. But we have a certain group of agents that work more closely with us, and we call those our core agents and our elite agents. The difference in those two are just going to be some of the benefits and services that additional attention that those groups get. So if that's something you have interested in and it's becoming more tightly aligned with an FMO that can better support you, that can offer you more hands-on, more personal service than you would get just as a broker, we absolutely have that. And through our core and elite agent programs, most of my six-figure earners are in my core and elite agent programs because they work closely with us and we help them build their stuff. We do online and face-to-face workshops. I do a lot of webinars just like this. In addition to this, I travel around and do a lot of face-to-face workshops. Especially as we get closer to Medicare season, we'll do a lot of face-to-face workshops. I even come out and work individually with agents as far as helping them with seminars, helping them with whatever that they need. That, again, that's our goal. Our goal is to help you succeed. Whatever you need to succeed, we want to provide that for you. So that's how Drennon can help you. That's how a good, committed FMO can help you. So I just mentioned whatever you need to succeed, we can help you with. So let's talk about briefly as we wrap up today on what you need to succeed. Because it's one thing to say I'm in the insurance business, it's another thing to be successful in the insurance business. All successful people plan. The old cliche that failure to plan equals planning to fail is absolutely fact. It's absolutely fact. Here's what you need. You need a marketing plan. You can't run a business without a plan. You must write a plan. If you need help with that, we can help you with that. But you need to treat your business like a business. That means you need a marketing plan. You need a budget. You need resources. Everything that you think that GE needs to run their business or Apple needs to run their business or Starbucks needs to run their business, you need to run your business too. You may need it on a different scale than they do, but you still need the same things. So you need a business plan. You need a phone system. I see too many agents that miss calls. They miss calls because they try to run their entire business on their cell phone, and their cell phone voicemail gets full. I can't tell you how many times I've called people. I've actually called agents that said, this phone has a voicemail that hasn't been set up. Now, you can't run a business like that. If a client calls you and they're trying to leave you a message and they can't, that's no good. So you need a phone system. Get one of these online things like Ring Central or the other one that advertises on TV all the time. These VoIP phone systems. You can set up an automated attendant to make it. You can you customize that however you want. But the point of that is you don't miss calls. The great thing about it is you can still direct every one of those calls to your cell phone if you want them to come on your cell phone. But they won't fill up your cell phone voicemail. So you need to have that. Those are inexpensive. You know to look into that. This is a big one. You need a database. You need a database to track your clients. I can't tell you how many times I have agents will call up and go, hey, do you have a list of my clients? Because I've got this, products leaving the market or whatever. I need a list of all my clients. I don't keep those. I don't keep a list of your clients for you. Or how many agents are actually just trying to track their clients on an Excel spreadsheet. If you do that, it's very difficult to really run reports from that. You need to treat your business like a business. You need to be able to run a report. Okay, I need a list of all my clients that were born in October. I need a list of all my clients that live in this zip code. Well, if you have an actual database system, you can quickly run a report of those things and have that. So that's important. Have a database. We can help you with those. point you in the right direction if you're interested in that, or if you don't have one, you need one. And then right along with that database, you need a customer outreach program. Remember, what we're talking about is building residual income. And we build residual income by building loyal clients. We build loyal clients by staying in touch with them. We stay in touch with them because we have a database where I can run a list of all my clients and do a email blast to them, or do a mailing to them, send thank you cards, send birthday cards, send newsletters, things of that nature. I can tell you birthday cards are amazing. Half the time their kids don't even send them birthday cards. So if you, as their insurance provider, can send them a birthday card, that's going to make an impression. Professional bookkeeping system. And when I say that, I don't want you to think that it has to be real complicated. Quite frankly, you ought to have an accountant, but if you're just getting started, you probably are not ready for that. So you can use QuickBooks, something like that. But you need a system where you can track expenses and income. It's very, again, this is you're running a business. You need to act like you're running a business. You need to have a marketing budget. You need to set aside X amount of every dollar you make in the month for the purposes of making more dollars. And you need to be able to track those things. Here's the biggest thing you need to have. You need to understand the understanding that you are a small business owner. When you're in the insurance business, you are a small business owner. You're an entrepreneur. You own a business, and you should act accordingly. And you need to remember this. It's your business. It's not my business. It's not Humana's business. It's not Aetna's business. It's your business. And you're the one that's responsible for the success or failure of your business. I'm here to help you, and I want to help you succeed. But ultimately, no one's responsible for the success or failure of your business but you. Success requires hard work, and it can't be accomplished without 100% total commitment. Here's what I mean by that. I see in this business, more in this business than any other business, people go, well, I'm going to do that part-time while I continue to work this job. That doesn't work. Am I saying that you can't do it part-time? Sure, you can do it part-time, but you're always just going to be part-time. If you really want to succeed in the insurance business, you really want to make it, you really want to build a generation-changing agency, you must commit fully to being in the insurance business. You must commit 100% and totally commit. It's like jumping off a cliff. You can't walk up there and hang your toe over it. You just got to jump. Anyone can do this business. I have seen all personality types succeed in this business. There's not a certain personality type that's more conducive to succeed in this business. In my 23 years helping independent agents, I've seen very abrasive people be very successful. I've seen very meek and quiet people be very successful. Anyone can do it. However, most people won't. Most people won't. I've seen countless people fail at this business over the years, and it's not from lack of talent or ability. It's mostly from just lack of getting up and doing it. It's mostly from the lack of having a plan. The key to success: have a plan, work your plan. Have a plan, work your plan. If you do that, and you utilize the help that we provide, you absolutely will succeed. There's no doubt about it. The opportunity, there's just too much out there available to not succeed. But you just have to want to do it, and you have to tackle it, and you have to get after it. It does require constant education. You can't just kind of join this stuff and then not ever think you're going to have to study. Medicare changes all the time. It does require that you fill your minds with the correct information. You have to be very, very, very focused on where you're getting information, because the great thing about the internet is there's a tremendous amount of information available to anybody. You can figure out how to do anything you want to do on the internet. The bad thing about the internet is there's a tremendous amount of information available, and it's not always accurate. So make sure that you're studying the right materials. Here's the bottom line. If you help Medicare beneficiaries, you're going to build an agency that'll change generations of your family. They're going to change generations of your family. I'm living, breathing proof of it. Living, breathing proof of it. And as I mentioned, the opportunity now is much, much, much greater than it was 40, 50 years ago. So with that being said, that's the end of my presentation today. If you have any questions, type those in. As of right now, I don't have any questions, so I'm going to go ahead and say thank you for attending. And if you'd like to ask questions because you just didn't want to ask them for the whole group, you shoot me an email, and I'll be happy to respond to you on those. I'll be following up with everybody that attended this seminar today to talk more about how we can help you build your agency. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.